Yeah. From that ninja, he says, side note, their parents remember him. Or side note, their parents remember him. That's a very good point. Their parents remember him. And I would think their parents would kind of – but here's the thing about it, man. It seems like that these players coming out of high school, like they don't take into account to try to go out and try to help out a program with a black head coach. Because you see year in and year out Calipari and Pitino, they get the top players in the country no matter what. They get the top guys off the McDonald's All-Americans game, Roy Williams at North Carolina. And like you see some of these other programs like with Avery Johnson, with black head coaches, man, that really doesn't come into play. Now, you would think that if, these kids coming out, that their parents remember Patrick Ewing when he played at Georgetown. And really, these people coming out today are kind of, let's see, so if they're 15, you're talking about 20, you're talking about 35. So the parents of these kids coming out of high school today, are like in their mid-30s. Like, I'm 47 years old, so they're not even, in my generation. So the parents of the kids coming out today, let's see, 20. So if you had a kid when you were 20, right. So you're about 35, 36, 37 years old. So you probably don't remember Patrick Ewing as a high school player, even the parents. I'm talking about the parents of the kids coming out today. You remember Patrick Ewing in the NBA at the end of his career. Let's see, so 20 years, so about 30 years. So, right. So you remember Patrick Ewing, if you're a parent today, you remember Patrick Ewing pretty much the last 5-6 years of his career in the NBA when it started winding down. You don't remember him at the beginning of his career at the NBA, and I'm talking about the parents of the kids coming out today that are going to get recruited by Division I colleges. You don't remember him at all at Georgetown. So think about that now. The parents of the kids that are coming out today, they don't even remember Patrick Ewing in college. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. But you would think that black head coaches like Quanzo Martin, who's now at Missouri, and Avery Johnson, that they should be able to go in and get their pick of the top black basketball players coming out of high school. But it's not the case. It's just not the case. And so I don't think it's going to be any different for Patrick Ewing. Once again, I just talked about how these kids don't know who the hell he is really. Their parents know him from the very close to the end of his NBA career, but even the parents don't remember him from college. So he's got a tough task ahead of him, man, but nobody deserves this opportunity more than Patrick Ewing, and I am wishing him nothing but success. It's crazy. It's crazy. From Finance Johnny, a lot of parents are in their 40s, Doug. What are you talking about? Most people not having kids at 18. So, no, I'm thinking about like early 20s. So, yeah, the tip end of that is parents that are right now, or the parents of these kids right now are like in their early 40s. If you're talking about having a kid at early 20s, which I did, and a lot of y'all did too, you're talking about mid-30s, if my math is correct, and I think my math is correct. From that boy Chucky, Ewing's recruiting strategy, hey, kid, Google me. I even have my own shoe. Play for me. Exactly. That's it. He's going to be telling these kids, and I saw them mention this on the Puppet Factory, I think last night, or somebody mentioned it. And they talked about how you're going to have to send a video to these kids showing him at Georgetown in the mid-'80s. Right. You're going to have to send them like a YouTube video link to showing him playing at Georgetown back in the mid-'80s. From Big Apple Bastard, Ewing had his Knicks dominated the 90s. Look it up. I'll wait. Man, the New York Knicks ain't dominated shit. From Angry Black Man, Ewing will focus on the DMV area in New York to build his program, Hoya Paranoia. I like that. I mean, I think that's common sense. He's going to have to recruit D.C., Virginia, and Maryland. because his name rings out. Like they used to say on The Wire, my name ring out in them streets. Like I would think that Patrick Ewing's name still rings out in them streets. Then you're talking about New York for his time playing for the New York Knicks. A lot of the kids they always talk about the New York City point guard, the kid Rakim Felder that plays for South Carolina's from Brooklyn or wherever. And they've had a long list of great New York City point guards. I'm not denying that, even though I hate on New York Knicks basketball. When you talk about the Kenny Smiths and the Kenny Smiths and the Stephon Marburys of the world, New York City got point guards. So you would think that some of those kids that grew up in New York, their fathers or even their grandfathers would have a high respect for Patrick Ewing, and he can get a couple of kids out of New York. I agree with you, Angry Black Man. From T-Dub, maybe they are older parents, Doug. I have a 24, 20, 18-year-old, and I'm 46. That's true. I kind of generalize that whole age of the parents today, but somewhere in that about a lot of the parents of the kids today, in a nutshell, a lot of the parents of the kids coming out today saw Patrick Ewing to the middle of his NBA career and back, I guess is the way to put it. Most of the parents today of these kids coming out, they don't remember Patrick Ewing at Georgetown. From Finance Johnny, I'm 42. Ewing was the man when I was a kid. Was a big Hoya fan when he was there. To your point, my seventh grader, high school sophomore, don't know about, but I do. From Wody 504, yo, Rel, get them ties to the mail Thursdays. Good quality. Thanks for the speedy service. Shouts out to my man, Rel Scott, with his tie service. From Clay Tube Sock Loving Davis, if Kevin Ollie can get the players, so can Ewing. Yeah, but the difference between Kevin Ollie at UConn and Georgetown is UConn's been relatively good and has won championships at least in the last, 6, 7, 8 years. I'd have to look it up. But their program is on better standing, than the Georgetown Hoyas. Georgetown's been down. And when I say down in relative terms, Georgetown, I guess, was a solid to average program under JT3 over the last, say, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. But in no way comparison is it to the level, and the brand is no way to the level of when JT3's daddy was there back in the 80s and built that program basically from scratch. So we'll see. Maybe Patrick Ewing goes in and he doesn't even rely on his name. Maybe he goes in. Maybe Patrick Ewing is a superior salesman. I mean, isn't he from Jamaica? He's probably, if he didn't play in the NBA, he had 50, 11 jobs anyway. Right. So maybe Patrick Ewing goes in and he can charm the pants off of these kids. That's probably the wrong use of words. Penn State. Maybe he can go in and he's an excellent salesman, and he can convince a lot of these kids just on his charm and personality, to come and play for Georgetown. And maybe the backstory of him coming to recruit you is that he was this legendary college basketball player and he was this legendary NBA player. We don't know. I mean, this thing's going to play itself out. But I see no reason why he shouldn't have had a job a long time ago based on his resume. Not just the fact that he was a legendary college basketball player, college basketball Hall of Fame, and NBA Hall of Fame as a player, but the man's been an assistant for 15 years. Who the hell is in the Hall of Fame, in the Basketball Hall of Fame, legendary player, and is an assistant for 15 years? That doesn't make sense at all. From Leonard Pittsburgh's Finest, what Ewing should do is hire Iverson, Mourning, and Mutombo as assistants to help in recruiting. That would be good, but those guys probably wouldn't want that job. They wouldn't want that job. You think these guys are rich beyond compare. They like going to play golf every day. That's a grind. College basketball, I imagine, is a grind. Allen Iverson ain't trying to be on no damn assistant coach and go out and recruiting players. I hear what you're saying in theory. That sounds good, man, but would those cats even want to do that? Would Alonzo Mourning want to pack up his bag and leave Miami, where I think he lives, and move back to the DMV area, and leave South Beach, Matumbo? I don't know what Matumbo's doing. That's a good idea in theory, but I don't think it's actually applicable. I don't think that's going to happen, bro. I don't think there's Allen Iverson ain't recruiting no damn snotty-nosed kids. For Mr. Harper, Ewing is a legend, but kids playing college basketball nowadays didn't see him play like that, so he is washed. I don't know what that word means. Maybe that's a Cali word. From LD, is Iverson still rich? Man, of course Iverson's still rich. Stop that. Of course Allen Iverson's still rich. Please, stop that. Stop listening to all of that BS rhetoric that the media gives you. Of course Allen Iverson still is paid. Of course he is. Yes, sir. Yeah. I'm the question and the answer. Like Iverson. Of course he's still paid. I don't believe that 1 minute that Allen Iverson's broke. Every time I see him, he got on a fat chain. Brand new pair of kicks. Entourage. All his homeboys still hanging out with him. I mean, what? Man, good. He playing in a little Ice Cube's little 3-on-3 league as a coach and as an owner, I believe. Allen Iverson good, man. That would be good, though, if, like a lot of programs do, they invite former players to the games and whatnot, for the optics of it. So I'm sure you'll see a lot more former Georgetown players showing up to Georgetown games. I'm sure you'll see that. All right, when we get back from the break, you talk about hate. There's nothing worse than being hated on by your own damn coach. I'll tell you about that when we get back. A little NBA talk as well. This is the Doug Stewart Show.
So you stayed on the move, giving all my time to the other life. You grabbed a girl and you made her your wife. But that puzzles me, 'cause I always been the queen that you said you always wanted to meet. So now I'm all alone because of the life you chose. Left me in pain, and I want you to know that I know it's gonna come right down. Everything that you done to me will come back. Can't believe that you hurt me that bad. I know it's gonna come right back. Everything that you done to me will come back. Can't believe that you hurt me that bad. You lost my love, and you lost my trust. You played me like a fool, 'cause I was lost in love. How you broke my heart, I knew from the start you were right.